Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fringe Coverage. This podcast profiles the stories, swings, and stars of the LPGA Tour. And whether you're new to women's golf or a longtime fan, hopefully this podcast helps you develop your own rooting interest in women's professional golf. And we are so excited. Today joining us is Gurleen Kaur, one of the LPGA's rising stars. She's a four-time All-American during her time at Baylor. She just finished up her second full season on the LPGA, including a second-place finish at the Standard Portland Classic, and finished top 70 in last year's race to the CME. Gurleen, welcome to Fringe Coverage. How are you today?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
We're so excited to have you here. Let's start here. Where are you calling from today, and how's the off season been?
Yeah, I'm coming from my new home in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and the off season has been amazing. I moved in December here, and I'm so glad that I did because it's cold everywhere except for Florida. We've actually gotten kind of our cold front later than everybody else. It's supposed to be like 30s and 40s this weekend. But every day has been amazing weather-wise, and I've been able to practice so much, and it's very different. I'm actually originally from Houston. So it's a little bit different, but similar at the same time. So
now is moving from Florida just because you can golf year round out there and it's a little more central to your tour stops?
So actually Houston was a lot more central than for my tour stops, but I moved out here because my sister is in University of Miami, and so she started there in the fall. And then I really always have wanted to move to Florida because of golf. Like there's just so many more golf courses here and like opportunities to like, I feel like grow and get better. And I just really wanted to move out of my parents' home. So
all good
I was
reasons.
living with my family after I graduated. So yeah, I just wanted like something different, and I've really liked it so far. So
we're going to dive into all sorts of things today, Gurleen. You've had a very eventful first couple seasons on the LPGA. And so let's start here. For those uninitiated, for those who don't know Gurleen Kaur's game, give us a scouting report on yourself. Give us the strengths of your game, and what, if fans are going to see you on a golf course, what are, you're going to have to brag on yourself a little bit here, but what are the strengths of your game? What do we need to know about you?
Pretty straight off the tee. Really good driver of the ball, really good putter. I'm going to redefine myself as not a slow starter this year. My college coach used to joke that like as the weather warms up, I'll finally start warming up too, which is so funny. Guys, like even last year and the year before, I kind of had a slow start to the year and then really started playing well towards the end. So I'm going to be different this year. And
you heard it here first, folks.
But yeah, so definitely pretty calm and relaxed. I like to talk a decent amount. Like my caddy and I are pretty chatty. We're really talking about literally the most random things. Sometimes we'll run out of things to talk about and we'll just do trivia because I like to just talk about literally random stuff. And it's nice to just like get your mind off of golf. Sometimes I feel like you're just like so wrapped up in, what you need to do and what not to do, things like that. So yeah. I like to have, a little bit of off course conversations and stuff. But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty happy generally on the course. I like to talk, and yeah, I'm always feel free to say hi. I feel like I'm pretty friendly overall. So.
Wow. What kind of trivia are we talking here?
I knew you were going to ask that, dude.
It's anything and every. So we went to Asia in the fall, and I asked my caddy to do like Asia specific trivia. So we would do like based on the country. We would do a lot of like based on where you are, and then like, oh, how many countries start with the letter P, or like things that are like you're thinking, but not so hard that like you can't guess it. So like global things or like US things. And I found that like I'm really good at globally knowing things. And like, I didn't even know where like Wyoming was. So whenever we're doing like trivia, like US trivia. So we've kind of like moved on from that. But I'm intrigued to see what new topics he'll come up with. He's in charge of it. So my caddy.
Well, I knew Tom was going to ask that. Tom is our resident trivia expert. I will say it came out late last year. Obviously, all of the new broadcast enhancements that are coming to the LPGA. There's going to be some opportunities, I think, for walk and talks and maybe some caddy conversations. I might put a note into the LPGA to make sure that they spend some time with Gurleen and her caddy. It sounds like we might pick up on some fun conversations. So let's
talking about the craziest, dumbest stuff.
But that's fun. That's life. That's what we want to hear. I mean, no offense, but I don't think anyone wants to just hear, hey, what do we have to the flag? What do we have to cover? And or how many paces off the left is it? So I think it will be, hopefully we do start to get a piece of that. And, let's dive into this. So first off, I'm going to brag on you a little bit more than you did yourself. You mentioned you were a straight driver. Fans, Gurleen ranked 15th in driving accuracy last year on the LPGA Tour. And another thing that stood out to me is you ranked 16th in round 4 scoring average. You mentioned something about being a slow starter, and I know you were referencing more just within the season. Let's cover that now, because it's one of the more interesting stat lines I've seen in a while, of especially in 2024. Again, kind of slow in terms of cuts made, and then turned it on the second half. Last year, if my math is right, we saw you going, maybe missed 8 of your first 9 cuts, then made 10 straight after that and just started rattling them off. What do you attribute that turnaround to? And maybe I have to ask more broadly based on, it sounds like maybe this is something that was true in your college career as well. What is it about late season golf that kind of gets you going?
I think last year was a little bit different because I did the exact opposite of what people tell you not to do. I hired a new coach. I hired a new strength coach. But it was for the best because I had been with my old swing coach, and he's like my family and everything. And we had been together for 8 years. But I just felt like he wasn't able to travel as much as I wanted to. And there was just some things like with my swing, I felt like I really wanted to change. And my new swing coach, his name is John Llewellyn. He's on tour almost basically every week.
Oh, nice.
And he works with a couple other girls on tour as well. And I think a lot of the beginning was also like really getting used to the changes that I was trying to get. And it's so difficult under pressure sometimes because you just revert back to what you know. And I feel like I didn't see that progress until literally the summer because we didn't start working together till January 2025. And then I really started to see the results like June 2025. So like swing changes are so slow, I feel like, especially when you're playing so much. And I feel like, right. Like, like when you're
I don't know how you do it. You want to take a year off just to do that, and you don't have time to do that. You got to learn it in real time. It's one of the most fascinating things to me.
Seriously. Yeah. So many drills. A lot of drills. And then, so I think that was like the biggest thing for me, like really finally getting comfortable with things in my swing and like finally like having more clarity on the golf course. And then I didn't make it to the European swing. And like, I really spent that time in July of last year, just really honing and playing. And like, I played a couple of Epson events and I played well. And I think I just took that with me toward the last part of the year. So I think when I was talking about the warming up stuff, I was joking a little bit because last year was a little bit more like, okay, I had a lot of things going on behind the scenes in terms of like my game and things like that. So it was just nice to see like the progress towards the end. So
I assume there's a big trust process, right? You know, if the swing isn't working right the first time around, and you might want to revert to old habits, but you have to keep reminding yourself, no, this is a long journey, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like reminding yourself again of like the long game, like there's only so many short-term result things you can focus on. So I think, like you said, trusting that I can turn my thoughts off while I'm over the ball and not really just try to get super position wise. And then like training that, right? Like having an intentional swing thought while I'm in my practice swing and then just kind of letting it go once you hit it. So
that seems to be the most difficult part of golf for me. Just, you know what you need to do, right? You know what you should be doing, but actually getting yourself to do it something completely different.
Yep.
Looking back at your first 2 years on the tour, is there anything that you were surprised by or something that you didn't think was going to be the way that it actually ended up being?
I don't think I have any surprises. I think I just underestimated how much travel there really truly is. especially when we're going like coast to coast. And I mean, just thinking about the schedule right now, like I decided not to play in China because otherwise I'd come back after 3 weeks in Asia and then have a week off and then go to the West Coast swing right away. Like by the time you get over the jet lag and everything, I was just like, no, a week is just not enough time because you only really get like 5 days. So, or like, and then even the middle stretch we have in April, it goes LA, Houston, Cancun, New York, Ohio, and it's just so all
Eesh.
over the place. Yeah. So I think, everybody talks about time and how much you get to learn about yourself and experience, but like, I didn't realize how important it was to take the time off, like things that you need to do, right? You can take a Monday off, like you can prioritize like your sleep and your recovery more than maybe getting a practice round in. So,
Well, that makes sense because both of those will help your game, right? Getting more
yeah,
practice will help, but also if you're completely exhausted and worn out, you probably won't be performing at your peak. So,
exactly. Yep.
I'm curious on the golf side of things, even by your lens, when you're out there, what are LPGA Tour players doing that are just silly with what they're able to do with a golf ball? I'm curious what comes to mind.
I mean, just how accurate everybody is. Like, I think at the end of the day, putting is so hard because, like, every week we're playing different greens, right? So the grass is different, they're undulated different. And, like, just putting in general is so hard. So I wouldn't say that you see so many more putts being made on the LPGA. I just think that the best players in the world just never miss. And their misses are much tighter than everybody else. Like they miss in the right spots. If anything, they're missing intentionally to the right spot because they know this is the best place for me to get it up and down or even like have an opportunity to save. Just we're so accurate. I mean, how often do you see an LPGA player having to re-tee it up versus not to hate on a PJ Tour Corn Ferry guy, but like having to re-tee because they hit it so hard that it went OB. So rare, very rare. So we're just super accurate. Always, I don't want to say in control of the ball, but just really accurate. So.
Well, Tom and I know real well what the reload feels like. Let's just say we measure our round of golf based on how many sleeves we go through a day. So probably not the right people to gauge that, but it's certainly truly when people use the word relatable. It's the most unrelatable thing for me was watching the LPGA is you and I might have the exact same distance all the way across our bag, but what you do with that golf club and with that golf ball from the same spot is outrageously different, and it's what makes us such big fans. I'm curious, you talked about the schedule, and I know Tom's got some questions here too. How did you go about setting your schedule? So you're 2 years in. Give us a little bit of an idea of what you have status for, what you have automatic access to, what you have to play your way into, and combine all that. How and when do you go about setting your schedule?
Yeah, so I definitely am feeling very lucky this year that I played well last year, and now I'm in an opportunity where I can be smarter. Because last year I kind of was still in the same boat where I felt like I had to play everything and everything.
Yeah.
Now I have realized I feel like my limit is 3 weeks. There might be exceptions to, yeah.
Okay.
There might be exceptions to that rule. I really hope like I can just be able to follow the 3 week rule. Especially Asia. I think I played 5 in Asia last year and it was like the biggest mistake ever.
Whoa.
Because I flew, I didn't play Hawaii and then I had Shanghai, Korea, and then I took a break. There was a week of break in Thailand and then I played there was a week break and I took a vacation in Thailand.
Good idea in theory, right?
Yes, but not to get into it, I had a really bad health issue in Korea. And so I literally could not do anything in Thailand. So it kind of sucked. And then I played Malaysia, Japan, and then flew to Anika. It was horrible. Don't recommend.
Oh. Okay, so now fast forward to this year.
Yeah, so this year I'm actually playing the Aramco event in Saudi first.
Great.
Yeah, so Saudi, Thailand, Singapore, 2 weeks off, and then I'll play the 3 week West Coast swing,
Yeah.
week off, and then I'm gonna play JM Eagle, Chevron. I'm into Chevron. I'm not into the US Open.
Okay.
So I have to find somewhere to squeeze my qualifier in. That's always such a hassle too.
Are they always Mondays?
And then I'll
Are
play.
LPGA major qualifiers always Mondays, or is it all over the map when you can enter
No,
one?
it varies state to state. Sometimes
Okay.
it's Monday, sometimes Tuesday, sometimes Thursday. It's all over.
Yuck. Okay, got it.
And then when you're traveling, who's on your team? Who's traveling with you?
So my caddy, my PT, but he doesn't travel with me per se. But I started working with him last year, and he's at every event, and that's about it. Like my mom and dad both work full time, so it's hard for them to come out. And they want to come out, but I have found that it's better for them not to come sometimes.
Got it. We can edit that out. Don't worry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry,
They
Mom
know.
and Dad.
They know. No, like my parents are great, and it's like, but you get into your own routine, and I feel like I found a way like on my own that's been really great, and I enjoy like. I think the thing about professional golf is like, or even just professional sports in general, you just kind of have to get used to being by yourself a lot, and I don't mind that at all. So most of the time, just me, and then I have a couple of friends that I like to hang out with on the tour and stuff too. So yeah.
Any life hacks, travel tips that now that you've realized a couple years in, as much as you're on planes, trains, automobiles in general, any travel tips that you didn't have 2 years ago that now you got to do?
Yeah. So stick to one airline.
Okay.
Get some status points.
Yep. No red eyes. I hate red eyes. Well, I can't sleep on planes, so that's the problem. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I'd rather wake up really early and take an early flight rather than like take a red eye and sleep on the plane. Don't sacrifice the dollar for the time. The time is more important than the dollar amount, I think. What else? Definitely making sure that you're hydrating and like I wear like compression socks on the plane and things like that. What else? Yeah, I mean that's basically it. Like, because I think once you really start to gain status, you can try to upgrade yourself as much as you can. And I travel United because I was Houston hub. People have a lot of things to say about United, but I really like them. They've never lost my golf bag ever compared to American and Delta. Yeah.
No free ads here, but I'm in the same case. American just has horror stories when it comes to that. United has sounded pretty clear from what we've heard.
Yep.
Yikes.
But people say that Delta is like the best one. I have just found that United for me, coming from Houston, like it was just always direct and things like that. So.
Well, you'll have more things to discover now that you're in Florida of where the best airlines in your hub there. So who knows? And for those of you airlines listening, Gurleen has an open patch spot on her on her shirt if you're looking to sponsor.
I'm an Alaskan Airlines man myself.
Yeah,
over there some sponsorships. Are there specific tour stops that you look forward to when you plan out your schedule?
Yeah, Houston for sure because it's home. And this year it's at a new course. It's at Memorial Park, which is super cool because they have a PGA Tour event there. And it's like right in the heart of the city. So a lot more people can come and it's public. So I don't know how many major championships besides the US Open are really hosted on like public courses. But very nice compared to where it was before in Houston. It was just really hard to get to. Not many fans were able to access it. So yeah, I like LA because the weather's always great. It's a little hard to travel to, but I find that the golf courses are enjoyable. And I'm like kind of a foodie, so I like to go to places that have like like cities that have great food. So. New York.
I'm gonna sit this one out. This is where my time to shine.
Okay.
Yep. Keep cooking, Tom.
I mean that's exactly what I would be doing too. I think you start booking reservations as soon as you get to a specific city. Is that something you want to go and check out all the spots, right?
Yeah, I don't really necessarily make reservations in advance unless it's like New York City, because like those kind of places you have to. But I love Asian food, so I really seek out a lot of Asian food whenever I'm on the road. Or like just like local coffee spots, or places that are like underrated. So yeah, things like that.
Okay,
How's the
so
Asian food scene in Florida?
oh
So
no. For
bad.
those of you listening on the
I
podcast, we got a
know.
thumbs down.
I
And she has just
If
been
know.
anybody
Yeah,
has
it's
any
banished.
not
suggestions, shoot
great.
them our way.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's just also like coming from a foodie city, like Houston has anything and everything. It's not that great. So I'm really looking forward to going to like Asia this year and then like San Francisco and like
Mhm.
other places. So I can venture out a little bit more.
So the LPGA is a very different circuit than Epson. I'm curious, when you're traveling and you maybe, especially on Epson, and you were in a place that maybe doesn't have the best food scene, did you develop any habits of like, hey, food's gonna be rough on this trip, I'm gonna kind of have to take care of myself? Do you have any like go to, not necessarily comfort foods, but like your travel food that kind of gets you through?
Chick-fil-A. Um, love a Chick-fil-A. I hate Chipotle, which is a hot take.
Wow, you
I
heard
got
it
food.
here.
Yeah, I got food poisoning there whenever I was in college, so I think that's why.
That would do it for me too.
Yeah. I don't really eat like fast foods like that much. But if I'm gonna have fast food like Chick-fil-A and stuff, but yeah, I don't like Chili's. Oh, Texas Roadhouse. Yes, Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You can
Okay.
always count on a Texas Roadhouse being in like a semi-small city, you know.
So I've got a couple tour related questions for you, and then we're gonna finish with kind of some what we call fringe facts, some kind of off the course stuff for you. I feel like we've already ventured off
Okay.
the course with you, which is great. I mean, again, we do this because people can get an idea of your game relatively quickly watching you on TV. But we want to get to know you, the person, and understand who it is they're rooting for. So that's the fun part of this. On the golf side, I'm sure you already know this. You're currently sitting 18th on the U.S. Solheim Cup points list as you head into 2026. Is the Solheim Cup something that's on your immediate radar as a goal? How do you approach? Obviously, you're going to play your golf, and the chips are going to play out the way they do. But how much of a focal point is the Solheim Cup?
Um, I would say not that it's not that high because I would be so honored to play in a Solheim Cup team, but my mindset has always been better when I'm just like, if it happens, it happens, rather than being like the focal point of what I'm trying to achieve.
Sure.
I think I play much better when I just really just focus on week to week or even like day by day. So I'm trying not to get ahead of myself from that perspective. But again, it would be such a huge honor to represent the US. And yeah, I mean, we'll just see what happens. I feel like, well, it's in August, right? August is so far away.
Yeah, in the Netherlands, no less. And a lot
Yes.
this question is always fascinating to me. You mentioned at the outset kind of how you feel when pressure, what pressure looks like. And I think pressure is a word a fan will use of how do they do under pressure. I don't necessarily think fans know what they're saying when it is like what it is you're feeling, because I think it manifests itself differently with each player and in each situation, whether it's you're trying hovering over a putt to make a cut or to win a tournament or the first tee jitters on a final round Sunday. I'm curious, in your career, how does pressure hit you? Not how well do you play. I'm curious, what does pressure feel like? If I'm in Gurleen Kaur's body standing over a putt or a drive and you're feeling the pressure, what is it that you're actually feeling and what do you have to do to manage it?
Yeah, I feel like pressure for me is kind of like feelings in your body. Like you never feel relaxed. You're a little uncomfortable, like just to the point where you can really focus. Not so much where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't swing the ball, but like you kind of have those like jittery feelings in your tummy sometimes. And I think it just comes from, wanting things to happen rather than like, I think for me, overcoming pressure is literally just simplifying it, focusing on the process. Like everybody talks about, the process. But it really just comes down to that, like, because you really can't control what's going to happen. And if you literally just focus on doing the best that you can, I think that's the easiest way to overcome pressure. And then you also say, like, being in situations is very much a privilege. Like, you try to get yourself in those moments as much as you can, like learning how to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because it is hard. Like, you're sweating, you're uncomfortable, your hands are clammy, like your thoughts are all over the place, right? Like, you really have to train and understand that it's okay to be nervous, it's okay to feel no pressure, and just being able to calm yourself down out there. So
yeah, that's a great lesson on and off the course.
Totally. I've got one final specific golf question for you, and it's about, are there any players that you specifically model your game after? Someone's a role model for you, someone you just admire? I'm just curious of whether it's active players or people you grew up watching. Who have been some golf influences for you?
honestly, growing up, I really didn't watch LPGA that much. Like, I loved watching Annika, but I watched a lot of PGA Tour because of my dad. 'Cause he's a big golfer, so I loved watching Rory and Tiger. I think primetime Tiger, I was a little bit too young for, which I kind of miss. Like, I'm sad that I missed
You
that
missed out,
era.
girl. You missed out.
I know, it's disappointing. But it's so cool to see like Scotty in his prime now and stuff too. But
Sure.
crazy to watch. But yeah, like I loved watching Michelle Wee and like things like that on the LPGA side. But yeah, definitely more a little bit PGA Tour watcher than LPGA. But now currently, I don't really think I have like a role model out there on the LPGA, but I just really love Nellie's swing.
Yeah.
There's a couple of girls who just putt so well consistently day after day, or hit it so well. So I think just like bits and pieces from like things that you observe, but not necessarily a role model. Yeah.
Gurleen, what is the weirdest or most unique thing that we could find in your golf bag?
Oh God. I always have some sort of, this is so bad, some sort of rotten banana, probably. Yeah, the amount of times my caddy has pulled out a rotten banana. I'm trying to be better about it. But and I always have snacks. Doesn't matter if it's a practice day or a regular day, I'll just have random snacks in my bag. I like to just munch on snacks when I'm playing. So
Who's putting the banana in?
Uncrustables?
Me, and then it's me who forgets to take the banana out. I like beef jerky. I try to stay on the healthy side, I like dried mango, granola bars, sometimes with, Twix here and there or something like that.
We're talking.
Let's do a fringe fact here, Gurleen. What's something we don't know about you that maybe isn't going to come out in the normal course of an interview? Something unique about you?
That's a good question. I can speak 3 languages. So my parents are from India, but I was born here. But I can speak my mother tongue, my language I kind of learned first is called Punjabi. And then I can also speak Hindi and then English. So, yeah.
Wow. Do you use them in any regularity, either with family?
Yeah. So I really only talk to like my parents in like a lot of Punjabi. My grandparents, neither of them speak English. So in order for me to, have a relationship with them, I have to be able to speak the language and stuff. And I'm actually very grateful because otherwise it would be so hard. And then I did take 3 years of Spanish in high school, but I lost all of that. So
I hear you there.
I took 5 and I can barely reinvent you.
Yeah.
I was so good at
you
the
lose
time.
it so fast.
So what's your favorite non-golf activity?
Oh, I really like to cook. So I haven't ventured out that much in Florida also because like now that I have my own place, I've been cooking a lot. I'm generally pretty healthy, but I like to make a lot of like Asian dishes, like pasta, Mediterranean bowls, like things like that. So yeah.
Well, if you can't find the Asian food in Florida, you got to make it yourself.
Exactly.
I love it.
All right. If you can't tell, we're a little bit interested in the travel side of all of this, which, as you alluded to, is a huge component of what you do. Which Charlie Hull was on in our most recent episode and was saying it's not all the glamour you think it is, right? There's a lot of time spent on planes, and certainly very appreciative of what she has, but it is a challenge. I'm curious, what are you doing on a plane? What shows are you binging? Movies you watching? Music you listening to? At any given time, how are you spending all those hours on a plane?
Yeah, so can't sleep. So for me, it's shows or reading. I like to read more on the shorter ones because I feel like reading for 6 hours is kind of a
tough
drag. Yeah. So like right now I just finished Game of Thrones. And now I'm watching House of Dragon. And then once I finish House of Dragon, I'll start the new series that just came out on HBO. So, yeah.
And will you continue that to the hotel room? Like if you have downtime while you're traveling, are you watching shows or are you trying to get out in the cities?
Yeah. I mean, I like to explore. I feel like when I'm on just cool cities, I like to go out and see things. Versus kind of stay in the hotel room. So, yeah, I think it just depends where we are, really.
You mentioned, we talked about airlines earlier and some people having issues with their bags, maybe not making it to final destination. What's the weirdest or craziest travel story you've had happen to you in your career?
So my very first year, I didn't have great Epson status. And I also was playing LET events. So I went to Kenya for my first event. Yeah, that was crazy. Whoa. There were zebras and giraffes on the golf course. It was incredible. Yeah, it was quite the experience. But anyways, so I was flying Houston to London, London to Nairobi, Nairobi to Mombasa. I lost my clubs in London, had to spend a night there. And then they couldn't find my club. So I was like, all right, I'll just head over there. And then my flight got canceled in Nairobi. And so I had to wait another 8 hours in the airport. And then I finally got to Mombasa and my clubs didn't get there literally till the next day. It was a shit show.
and now I'm always curious, how did you play that week?
Actually pretty good. I was I think fourth or fifth going into the final run. And I think I didn't have a good day on the last day. So I think I finished 25th or 30th or something. So fine considering all the circumstances.
You're just happy you were playing with your own sticks that day.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Oh,
well, I saved this question for last, Gurleen. I know it's something that's very important to you based off your Indian heritage. I know you've been interviewed before and you've talked about how you didn't see a lot of people like you when you were growing up playing golf. How has that played a role in not only your career, but I know it's something that's very important to you now. Kind of talk a little bit about what your Indian heritage has meant to you as you've pursued a golfing career.
Yeah, I think it makes me unique because I am also quite religious, and my religion is called Sikhism. I don't know if either of y'all have heard of it, but it's from North India, and I think it just evolves with me as I grow because it really shaped me into who I am. So it's very important to me. And I just think when times are tough, especially golf is hard, you just kind of have to remind yourself that there's always, a bigger picture on the other side. And I think my faith helps me remember that. So yeah, and I do like that there's so many more girls. I'll be playing a tournament, especially in a bigger city, and I'll have families come up to me and be like, "Oh, we're so my daughter plays because of you," and it's just so heartwarming. And I just definitely want to stop playing, or at some point I want to get more involved in trying to grow the game from a Indian standpoint, especially for girls. So I don't know exactly what that looks like, but it is very important to me. So
that's
beautiful.
We'll get you out of here on this, Gurleen. I don't know if you're a goal setter as you go into each season, but what does success look like in 2026 to you?
Success would probably be definitely finishing in the top 60. I don't want to keep that only my goal in terms of ranking, maybe even top 30 or 40. Winning would definitely be another goal.
Let's go.
Especially coming so close in Portland. I think it's just like no other feeling. You crave that like adrenaline rush all the time, and it was so thrilling. So and then I wouldn't say that Solheim Cup is on my list of goals, but I can add that on there.
Yeah.
Improving like some of my stats, trying to get like my bogey and double bogey avoidance down, increasing the amount of greens that I hit. So there's just some little small tidbits. But yeah, I definitely try as many top tens as I can. I try to put myself in contention as much as I possibly can. So.
Well, we're right there alongside you. We're rooting for that as well. Gurleen, you've been an absolute delight. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're so excited to watch you this year, and hopefully our fans have enjoyed this and now have a rooting interest in your game as well. And like I said, hopefully we get to hear some on-course caddy conversations, and maybe we'll send some trivia tips your way in case you're looking for some topics on those long days on the course. But thank you so much thank you so much for joining us. This has been great.
Of course. Thanks for having me, guys. I had a blast.